to get indication from our media crew that the live stream is active and open to our schools joining us this morning. We would like to sincerely thank the Neurodivergent Infinity Network of educators and the students joining us for creating this space today and spaces every day in celebration of Autistic Pride. Thank you to those joining us in person here at the Durham District School Board Education Center and those joining us through live stream. The Durham District School Board acknowledges that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships, both historic and modern, with the territories upon which our school board and schools are located. Today, this area is home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that the Durham region forms a part of the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the treaty territories of the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation. It is on these ancestral and treaty lands that we live, learn, and teach. The Durham District School Board recognizes Indigenous rights are distinct. In the exercise of those rights, Indigenous staff and students shall not be subjected to the actions with the aim or effect of depriving these distinct rights. The Durham District School Board is also committed to learning and working environments that center human rights and equity and are safe, welcoming, respectful, equitable, accessible, inclusive, and free from discrimination. Good morning and welcome. My name is Andrea McCauley with the pronouns she and her, and I have the privilege of joining in the celebration and learning of today as your guide between speakers this morning. We have continued growth and learning ahead of us to address ableism, both individually and collectively. Today is an opportunity to hear from those giving with generosity of their awesome selves and allies in leadership positions, a shared commitment to continual movement forward, a collective call to action. We acknowledge that many community members, organizations, and individuals, including our union and federation leaders, joining us today, and thank you for being here to affirm, to support, and to continue to champion change. By listening to and amplifying the perspectives of autistics, we are better positioned to foster more positive experiences and outcomes within our learning and working environments. As allies and those in the learning about neurodiversity and how in every decision and interaction, we each have opportunity to take greater steps towards a truly inclusive society. Our schools and workplaces are poised to help lead in the recognition and realization of inclusion and how each of us individually, our own action commitment to learning and change from each and every one of us is essential. One action this morning is that silent applause is requested at this event. Using language from those that sign, appreciation through silent applause can be shared through the ASL signal, and I'd ask you to practice it with me. Thank you, and with that, we welcome our first speaker, Director Camille Williams-Taylor, to the podium.
Good morning, good people. Good morning, good people.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to address you today on a very special occasion, Autistic Pride Day. This day is a powerful reminder of the unique and remarkable qualities that our friends, students, family members, and colleagues with autism bring into our world. It stands as a powerful testament to resilience, creativity, and diversity of the autistic community. Autistic Pride Day began in the early 2000s. It is an internationally recognized, and its significance has grown tremendously over the years. It is a day dedicated to understanding neurodiversity, challenging the misconception that autism is something that needs to be cured. Instead, it is an opportunity for us to celebrate the incredible diversity within the human experience. It is a day for all of us to foster an acceptance of neurodifferences in our society. As we raise the flag featuring the rainbow infinity symbol, we are reminded of the diversity and infinite variations and possibilities. This symbol also serves as a powerful reminder of the continuous work that we need to do as duty bearers to counter anti-autistic ableism. We must work tirelessly to promote a sense of belonging and community for autistics and otherwise neurodivergent individuals every day. The Durham District School Board recognizes the importance of learning about the autistic experience from members of the autistic community who are willing to share their insights with us. It is crucial that we listen, learn, and act upon the knowledge shared by those with lived experiences. We strive to accept and value each person in our schools as the unique individuals that they are. To do so, we must adopt practices that are safe, neuro-affirming, and accessible for all students, staff, and families. This involves prioritizing equitable access to communication tools and honoring the autonomy of everyone. By listening to and amplifying the perspective of autistics, particularly those who have intersectional identities and have been historically marginalized, we are better positioned to foster more positive experiences and outcomes within our learning and working environments. Today and every day, let's celebrate the strengths and perspectives of our autistic students, staff, and families. Let's commit to creating a more inclusive and affirming environment for all. Together, we can make our schools a place where every individual feels valued, understood, and empowered to be their authentic selves. Thank you. Let's celebrate this day with the joy and the pride that it deserves.
Thank you, Camille. We now welcome Dr. Sarah Schlein, Clinical Lead and Senior Manager for Psychological Services.
Good morning. I'm not an educator, I'm a therapist. I have a slightly softer voice, but if you can't hear me at any point, then just give me a wave and I'll do my best. Good morning, students, caregivers, colleagues, and members of the community. I would like to thank the members of the Neurodivergent Infinity Network of Educators for inviting me to share in this space with all of you today in celebration of Autistic Pride Day and for the opportunity to share with you a few of the important shifts. I'm so sorry. A few of the important shifts that Inclusive Student Services as a team are striving to make in service of providing care that is affirming of the infinite intersectionalities of humanity that exist within the DDSB. As regulated health professionals, it is important to my colleagues and I to recognize the legacy of harmful and marginalizing practices that my profession and others have been built upon. Until we all dig deep and confront these shameful histories, they will continue to be part of our present and our future. The clinical services teams who service students within the DDSB share a vision for the future that is inclusive, where anti-oppressive, intersectional practices are baked in to every interaction, every space, and to every relationship we develop. There should be no need for anyone to have to hide who they are. Rather, everyone and all of their possibilities should be celebrated. Over the past few years, a number of clinicians and educators who work within the Inclusive Student Services team have embarked on a learning journey to know better and to do better. For our teams, our learning is leading us to actively participate and engage in follow-up sessions with autistic leaders, such as Kieran Rose, the autistic advocate, and his Inside of Autism course. We've been learning about autistic masking and how we can support educators with developing relationships with their students so that they can drop their masks and be their authentic selves. It's not about changing the students, it's about changing how we show up for them. We're actively working to understand autistic burnout so that we can be part of the relief where that's possible. We're seeking neuroaffirmative language guides and reframing how we communicate information to those we serve. We presume competence and we honor all forms of communication. We assess job candidates' understanding of the difference between ableist and neuroaffirmative practices and approaches during our interviews. And importantly, we keep in mind every day that allyship is a verb. It means taking specific actions every single day to learn from, stand beside, and keep pushing for positive change along with communities. On behalf of your allies and Inclusive Student Services, here's wishing all of you a celebratory, special, and proud day.
Thank you, Sarah. And at this time, we welcome Susie Lee Fernandez from the Ontario Principals Council.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susie Lee Fernandez, and I am the Director of Professional Learning at the Ontario Principals Council. My pronouns are she, her. I have dark hair that's pulled back in a bun, and I'm wearing a black jumpsuit this morning. So to start off, I'd like to say I am very privileged and feel very blessed to have been invited here. I actually feel like I shouldn't actually even be speaking, but I am very happy to bring greetings from the Ontario Principals Council. Just to highlight the work and support that we offer and are very happy to contribute to. Days like this where we highlight and shine a spotlight on rethinking how we see the world, how we see ourselves, our structured norms, and that challenge is not easy work. I myself, along with all of you, am on a learning journey about a social model of inclusion, neurodiversity, and the challenge that presents uniquely to each one of us to really do some inner critical reflection in order to make real changes. The work of the Ontario Principals Council in supporting districts and boards, we're a part of, obviously, a larger team that ultimately supports our students and our families so that each student can come to school and bring their full selves to the building, be affirmed. Beyond that, it's also about the adults, about creating the same spaces for staff and all members of the broader society. So I am very privileged to be here today to listen, to take part in this special Autistic Pride flag raising, and also I'm aware of my own responsibilities in my role to take my learning back and bring it back to the spaces that I have influenced, the same as all of you. So just thank you again for allowing me to take part, and I'm very grateful to be part of this day.
Thank you so much. And at this time, we'd like to welcome Karen Tim, the founder of the Neuroinfinity Network of Educators 9 here in Durham.
I'll introduce myself, but I do want to go through a few slides before I bring my remarks. So I'm Karen Tim. I'm the founder of 9, the Neurodivergent Affinity Network of Educators. Let me just pull my notes back up because they're gone now. Gotta love it when this happens. I do know who I am. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything important here. Okay, can I just ask maybe Kogu, can you just go through the first one, just press play while I find it, please? Thanks.
Acknowledging Indigenous Autistics. As duty bearers, it is critical to recognize the impact of colonial oppression and barriers to services and supports for autistics who are Indigenous. Autism is typically discussed through a Western deficit-based medical lens. This deficit lens does not align with many Indigenous views. Neurodivergent traits are often not perceived as a disability, and this may contribute to fewer diagnoses of Indigenous children. Negative stereotyping of Indigenous children can impact the accuracy of or delay diagnosis. Research has been done on, not with, autistic children, echoing colonial relations. What is needed? If research is Indigenous-led, it can be more meaningful and applicable to Indigenous communities, grounding research in Indigenous rights, relationality, and Indigenous worldviews, with specific attention to the confluence of ableism and racism. Programs and services for Indigenous autistics must be rooted in sociological understandings of disability, relationality, and Indigenous rights to self-determination. Accessibility reminders. The Neurodivergent Infinity Network of Educators is working hard to model accessibility. By normalizing these measures, we are playing our part to foster inclusive learning and working communities. Alt text and image descriptions, high contrast text and backgrounds, captions on live stream and here on the monitor. Transcript will be available with live stream footage, and efforts to mitigate sensory impact. For example, silent applause is in effect. We call upon all staff, students, and community members to join us as we shift our defaults and actively seek to become accessible. Accessibility includes everyone. Assume we are in the room. We encourage everyone sharing space with us today, both in person and virtually, to reflect on and draw upon the working definition of ableism led by disability activist Talila Lewis. Ableism, a system that places value on people's bodies and minds based on societally constructed ideas of normalcy, intelligence, excellence, and productivity. These constructed ideas are deeply rooted in anti-Blackness, eugenics, colonialism, and capitalism. This form of systemic oppression leads to people and society determining who is valuable and worthy based on a person's appearance and or their ability to satisfactorily reproduce, excel, and behave. You do not have to be disabled to experience ableism.
Language preferences to honor the preference of the growing majority of autistics who prefer the use of identity-first language. We are using the term autistic throughout today's ceremony. We remind everyone that how you identify is always up to the individual. Please be mindful to defer to their preference, and if unsure, ask them.
Okay, here I go again. So I said who I am. I'm a white woman with red hair wearing tinted glasses, a black OPC vest with a neurodiversity pin showing the rainbow infinity symbol. I'm wearing a black t-shirt from Communication First, which says listen to non-speakers. Listen to non-speakers. When embers burn and fires yearn, a spark is all it takes. When magma moves the unseen truths, an eruption lies in wait. There is a long history of autistic pride. It predates any ceremony, flag raising, or special event. It predates conventional notions of normal, not just today, but throughout history. Long before there were words like neurodiversity or neurodivergent, long before our ways of being were labeled, before diagnostic criteria were decided upon, and long before we were seen as not the norm, autistics existed. We are creators, developers, problem solvers, and innovators. We are designers, researchers, authors, and artists. We are composers and scientists, actors and educators. We are leaders, and we are advocates. Advocacy is a fundamental part of who we are. For many of us, the need to do right by society is baked into our DNA. It is interwoven into our identity, tied to our specializations, driven by our monotropic neurologies. We were born to be leaders in our own ways and in our own times, solving real-world problems for society, for systems who, ironically, really don't get us. It's okay if you don't believe me. My autistic pride now reminds me that autistics all around the world understand this. And by finding each other, we have found ourselves. We have always been here, telling our truths, sharing our stories, seeing things that others did not and do not see, feeling the things that others do not feel, communicating in our ways, and often not being understood or valued by those who did not seek to know our truth, by those who may have assumed that our realities are less important than their own. But really, we are just different, not less. Throughout history, we have been labeled, dismissed, stereotyped, oppressed, used, and yes, abused, and worse. And because of this, just existing can be exhausting. So please, don't tell me you can't be a leader and an advocate. Please don't tell me an interview is how to measure your worth. Don't tell me you have to make eye contact or you won't be able to connect with people in this job. Please don't walk into my space and turn on my lights. Please don't tell me you're an ally and do nothing to earn that title. Please don't tell me about resiliency. Every single autistic on the planet redefines resiliency every single day of our lives. Please don't tell me to land the plane. Some planes are not meant to be landed. They need to be refueled and rebuilt in midair, repurposed and converted for bigger and better things. Our time has come, and it's long overdue. Hear our voices, listen to our words, amplify our perspectives. My autistic pride is knowing that being a leader must mean also being an advocate. My autistic pride is envisioning a future where neuroaffirmative practice is realized not just in some classes or some schools here on the lands of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the Chippewas of Georgina Island, but across Turtle Island and around the world. From a famous autistic. Systems do not change unless the people who uphold them change, and each person is responsible for upholding the system. So it is your responsibility, our responsibility, within yourself, your communities, your educational institutions, your corporations, your government institutions, to do the work that you can do every day to create the change the world needs by creating the change within yourself. Layla F. Saad, author of Me and White Supremacy, if you're not familiar with Layla's work. This can be a world where every single autistic feels seen, known, and understood. This is possible, and to all of you out there and in here who are relentlessly pursuing this with me, even when those who hold power over us tell us change takes time, national strategies take time, policies and processes take time. We don't have time to waste, and we have waited long enough. When embers burn and fires yearn, a spark is all it takes. When magma moves the unseen truths, an eruption lies in wait. And now for some reflections and wishes from autistics, partners, and some allies thrown in there.
The Autistics Unmasked team wishes our friends at 9 and all autistics far and wide a wonderful Autistic Pride Day. While celebrating Autistic Pride is something that we should do every day, today is an extra special reminder of how far the autistic community has come. In the past few years alone, there has been an incredible explosion of self-advocacy, sharing resources, educating others, and building community. We continue to show a society not built for us, that we're not equations to be solved, that we have always belonged here, and that we always will. Our existence is inherently something to be proud of. Celebrating autism may not be something that comes so freely or naturally to all autistic people, and that's all right. Know that your community will always be cheering you on from the sidelines, hoping that one day being autistic is something that you can feel proud of too, no matter how quietly it may be. Happy Autistic Pride Day. Safia Yasmin, co-founder, creative director, and the AU team.
I noticed there's no moat on this one, so I'll read it out loud. This is a piece of art by Joffrey. Joffrey says, "I'm proud of my mommy." Image description, a painting of yellow flowers is reaching up to the sky. Each flower has a black center and a green stem of different lengths.
As autistic As autistic parents / carers of autistics and non-autistic parents / carers of autistics, our role is such an important one in the lives of our children, and it can be overwhelming at times, but also exciting and empowering, rewarding, and life-changing. We want to wish all the awesome autistics out there, children and adults, a very happy Autistic Pride Day. Some of the hardest work we do to support our children is in helping other people understand that our children are not broken. They are different, not less. They communicate in many different ways, and that is okay. This society is based on rules that were not written for them. Our job is to stand with them, not speak for them. Autistics have lots to say, and they have a right to be heard, whether they say it using speech or mouth words, music, art, or other form of communication. We just need to learn their language. Let's all work together to ensure our schools and communities become places where autistic students, autistic staff, and autistic community members know they have a place where they belong. Learn all you can from the awesome autistic community. Read their stories, watch their videos, and join their communities. They were our children and have lots to share. The Awesome Carers Network.
What does autistic acceptance mean to me? Introduction. Hello, I'm Helen and I'm an autistic student at my school. My hobbies are singing, dancing, and building things. Today, I'm going to talk about what autistic acceptance means to me. about being autistic. Being autistic made me smarter, made me imagine more stuff, and have a lot of feelings. It made me love my life more, and it made me unique. What does being autistic mean to me? Being autistic means a lot to me. Being autistic is my personality, my accents, my feeling, what I do, and what I like. Being autistic is the reason why I am smart. It gives me brain power to study, learn, and work hard, making this the reason why it will be easier to get a job for me. When I found out I am autistic, it changed my life. It taught me why I am smart, why I am always stimming, and why I am so emotional. What does autistic acceptance mean to me? I feel safe because of autistic acceptance, making me free from hate. I don't need to feel the pain that my autistic ancestors had. Because of autistic acceptance, I can have fun and a good time at peace. If there was no autistic acceptance, I would get bullied and become sad, scared, and miserable. Thank you for listening to my slides. How many words can you make with autistic acceptance and autism flag?
Hi, my name is Joy, like happiness.
I'm 25 years old and I live in Toronto. I'm a designer and being autistic makes me an amazing one at that. Being autistic means I'm different from the average 25-year-olds, and it means that I perceive the world differently and think differently. Autism gives me a unique perspective, and this uniqueness is highly valued in the design field. It's much easier for me to think outside of the box. In fact, I often wouldn't know there was a box to begin with. Being autistic is not easy, but I'm proud of my unique talents, which led me to attend the best art and design institution in the US for my undergrad and the world #1 art and design university for my master's. It also led me to win the design award for my project We Are in This Together, which is an inclusive and interactive toolkit intended for students and educators in higher education to better understand neurodiversity and disabilities. Now I've finished my studies, I'm looking to use my design talents to help fellow neurodivergent individuals and support neurodivergent initiatives. So if you know any way I can help with designing things, feel free to contact me. My autistic brain is different. It's also brilliant and fascinating. And who says autistic people can be creative? I'm proving them wrong.
Hi, my name is Joy.
A friend, a non-speaking AAC user, age 8, says, I am not an alien. Image description, a green-bodied alien with black eyes and mouth, pink belt, and antennas. Alien is crossed out by a purple X.
Hi, my name is Ayana. also known as Phenomenally Autistic, wishing everyone an amazing Autistic Pride Day. Remember to be unapologetically you and that you are perfectly made. We were born into a world not wired for our minds, but still managing to do amazing things, and for that you should be extremely proud. Happy Autistic Pride Day. Ayana Sana Davis. Image description. Black woman with coil hair, wearing pink shirt holding books.
Hi there, I am Kara Diamond. I am the author of The Autism Lens, and I am co-host of the Autistic Tidbits and Tangents podcast. Happy Autistic Pride Day. To me, there has been so much value in realizing I'm part of the autistic community. It's so validating to realize that we process and learn and think about and experience the world in a different way, but it's different, it's not less. And one thing that I love about the autistic community is even when we have varying needs, we have an understanding of the reasons why we need support and deserve to be supported and accommodated. And I've learned how to give myself grace and be more patient with myself and really self-advocate and ask for the things that I need. And I wish that all of you have that. I want all of you to know that being autistic is not incompatible with well-being or happiness. And I hope on this day you make sure that you carve out some time to do something that brings you joy. I'm going to frolic in the woods later. Maybe you want to deep dive down a research rabbit hole or dance or who knows, whatever it is that brings you that childlike wonder, that love of life that I hope that we never lose. All the best. Happy Autistic Pride.
Hi guys, my name is Aiden. I am a 20-year-old autistic artist. And you know what? Today we're going to talk about, the importance of community. We're going to go over the power of volunteering and the importance of being you and what makes you unique and what gives you your strength. Right now I am at the community garden hosted by the Super Ability Crew, our Super Ability Crew garden, where we come here 3 times a week to water our beautiful plants because we are growing a green highway, but more importantly, we are doing something related to the Butterfly Way Rangers. It's a David Suzuki program all about the importance of pollinators in our world, so that our pollinators can thrive. Hey guys, I am working hard to create a awesome volunteer project that I have. I am actually creating the parade float for the 2024 Sound of Music Festival for Special Olympics Burlington. I know, more volunteer work, but remember, volunteer work makes people happy, and I really want to make this something special, something for the community, and something that will put a smile on somebody's face. And now we have reached the art studio. So many things we've talked about, but my art has been one of the most important things in my life. I have used art as a way of communication since I was a little child, and to this very day, I still do it to express how I feel, either to express a moment that happened in my life, a certain feeling, or sometimes just creating something to release my emotions out. Through art, we celebrate autistic pride, and every single one of you that are watching right now have their unique skill sets. You are a color in the world's canvas, and without your color, the world would be a little dull. So thankfully, bringing your bright colors really makes that painting shine brightly. So thank you for being you. Hi guys, my name
Image description, student artwork by Evie Arias, entitled I Am Autistic, showing a drawing of Evie, a white human with long brown hair wearing a red t-shirt. Evie has listed these positive traits as part of her autistic identity: friendly, honest, curious, helpful, compassionate, unique, forgiving, smart, empathetic, kind, creative, determined, funny, loyal, generous, problem solver. Thought bubbles contain these messages. It helps when I know what to expect. Time to relax is important. I need a calm space to work. I wish they would understand.
A message from Lyric Rivera, read by a member of 9. My name is Lyric Rivera. I am the creator of Neurodivergent Rebel, the best-selling author of the business ethics book Workplace Neurodiversity Rising, and the owner of Neurodivergent Consulting. I am an identified autistic adult, and I would like to wish all the other autistic people around the world a wonderful Autistic Pride Day. Those who don't understand Autistic Pride might ask, how can you be proud of something you have no control over, like autism? Autistic Pride Day is not just a celebration of being autistic and belonging to such a vibrant, beautiful community, but celebrating ourselves, despite the messages society sends that we should be ashamed of who we are. Additionally, Autistic Pride isn't just about celebrating who we are. It's also about coming together, remembering those we've lost, and working together towards a brighter future for future generations of autistic and other neurodivergent people. We need autistic pride, queer pride, or any kind of pride because all human beings need to be loved and accepted as we are, and not asked to be changed to be something we're not. Until society stops seeing autistic people as broken, needing to fix themselves to fit into the non-autistic systems, we will still have this continued need to have autistic pride until autistic pride becomes standard. To all of you, out of the autism closet or not, I am proud of you. Today is your day. With love, Lyric Lark Rivera.
A message from J. Paul Walsh, read by a member of 9. Friends, the autistic community here in Newfoundland and Labrador joins with you in your celebration of autistic pride, and with it, I hope, autistic joy. Diversity, neurodiversity, strengthens our communities and builds our society. Be loud and proud as you celebrate the value, talent, and skill you bring to our world. J. Paul Walsh, CEO, Autism Society of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Hi, Sophia here from Scottish Ethnic Minority Autistics. Just dropping a line here to say Happy Autistic Pride Day to everybody at 9 and every other autistic person around the world. Hope you have a great day and I hope you enjoy your company. Bye. Hi.
Hello everyone, I'm SF and I'm proud to be both a gay and autistic staff member here at AID Canada. As we celebrate Pride Month, I want to share a message of love, acceptance, and unity. Pride Month is a time for us to honor the LGBTQ+ community and recognize the incredible diversity within our own lives. At AID Canada, we're committed to creating a supportive and inclusive landscape for everyone. Together, we can build a world where everyone feels valued and respected for who they are. Let's stand together, advocate for human rights, and celebrate the beauty of our diversity. Happy Pride Month. Hello, everyone.
A message from 3 grade 4 students in the DDSB at Home Awesome Human Club. Autistic Pride means getting together to share our interests and passions like our art, outfits or costumes, and playing Guess the Pokemon. Every Monday, we count down to the AHC on Friday. We think it would be a good idea for all schools to have an AHC so other neurodivergent kids have a place to get together and don't feel alone.
A message from an autistic teacher, read by a member of 9. My wishes for Autistic Pride Day, as someone who is still learning about her own self-diagnosed neurodivergence, to feel safe to be who we are, where we are, to understand each other in all forms of communication. There are enough accessible, free working resources. Opportunities are equal for everyone without judgment. All needs, limits, and boundaries are respected. Unlearn societal and generational expectations. As a teacher, I hope to provide this to all of my students. An autistic teacher.
A message from a neurodivergent teacher read by the neurodivergent partner of a member from 9. What does autistic, neurodivergent, pride mean to me? It means embracing who I am without shame. It means not apologizing for my behavior or conforming to others' expectations in certain situations. It involves accepting myself fully and rejecting the notion that I need to be fixed or that something is inherently wrong with me. It means being proud of how my brain functions and the unique perspectives it brings. It involves recognizing my strengths rather than focusing on what others, including the medical field, might label as deficits. ND DDSB teacher.
Autistic pride. In a system not designed for us, in a society that has yet to accept us, pride is found by building community. Through finding each other, our voices become louder. We develop the strength to hide ourselves a little less, to feel less shame and guilt, and eventually, despite the barriers we face, we may even feel proud of who we are. Pride comes from connecting with our autistic students, from seeing them happily stim, to communicating in their preferred ways, and being comfortable with who they are at such an early age. Pride will come from knowing that these students will have educators who see them, understand them, who do not try to fix them. We are not broken. To me, pride comes in the form of hope. An autistic DDSB teacher.
Autistic acceptance. We're going to talk about autistic acceptance by Anushka Dirkaran. Who am I? My name is Anushka and I am an autistic student at my school. When I found out I was autistic, I feel a little worried, but one of my friends told me that autism is a good thing. What makes me autistic is that I do really good things like art, music, performing, and video making. When I see supply teachers around my school, I like to give them handmade gift cards, and they really like it when I give them a gift card. My autistic experiences. Sometimes I get in trouble even though I might understand what I did wrong. This makes me feel that some kids don't like me. Some teachers are great at helping autistic students in class. I think all teachers should be nice to the autistic students and learn how to help them succeed. Why don't others understand autism? Sometimes people don't understand autism. They think autistics are weird. They assume that worse about us autistics without asking first. But the truth is that we are different, we are happy, and we are just like all the other autistic people in the world. Autistic people deserve respect and understanding. What does autistic acceptance mean to me? Autistic acceptance is more than just awareness about autism. Acceptance goes beyond just acknowledging that we exist. Acceptance is an important factor in building strong community-based support systems. True acceptance understands that autistic communication is different, just like autistic stimming, motivation processing. Quote about autistic acceptance. It is not our difference that divide us, it is in our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. The lives that autistic people build for themselves may not be conventional, but they aren't inferior. If you met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. Autistic people are not a monolith, we all represent our own selves. How universal design can help everyone. Remember that all humans are unique. Here are some ways to include everyone in their school and communities. Normalize stimming. Everyone stims. Movements or brain break help everyone, but we all learn in different ways. So try to remember that please. If we need to stand or doodle while we work or listen, believe us. We all have different strengths and we all show our learning in different ways. Please give everyone options so everyone can be seen, heard, or valued. Thank you for listening to my ideas and I hope you like my presentation.
Some barriers to autistic pride and what we can do.
The education system was designed for a certain person and for a specific purpose. It wasn't designed for everyone, or to meet the varying needs of students with disabilities, as they are and as they want to be. Lots of these prohibit people from being included and contribute to denying folks access. Challenging the status quo allows us to think through the why, and then identify creative solutions. That's how we must move forward. Jordan Zimmerman.
And I'll just say, if you don't know who Jordan Zimmerman is, you need to find out. Some barriers, which I won't get into in depth, I just will read them out for you. And I encourage you to access the 9 website. The QR code there will get you there. But if you Google us, it's not hard to find us also. Some barriers, the double empathy problem. Who is misunderstanding who? Autistic masking and burnout is directly related to trauma. The medical model and deficit-based language are very harmful. Seeing autistics through behaviorist lens ignores our realities. Communication barriers and lack of technology. We have to learn to #presume competence. Inconsistent approaches due to competing schema. Lack of autistic-led training at all levels of organization. Whole body listening encourages masking. Internalized ableism, and the guilt and shame, and ableism.
What can we do? Autistic pride depends on safe, accepting, and inclusive spaces where allies take action. This requires unlearning and active, ongoing implementation of that unlearning. Recently, DDSB school administrators engaged in professional learning with powerful reminders about the importance of belonging and creating a culture of care. All students, staff, and community members deserve to feel and know they belong. We all belong here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. ABC, and it is a pleasure to be celebrating Pride with you all. But not just Pride, but Autistic Pride. There's a lot for all of us to learn and to unlearn in this space. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to share in your celebrations. Oftentimes, in a celebration like this, the powerful, the privileged, those with access, those with the bigger voice gets to be seen, gets to be heard, gets to be celebrated. Today, it is about you. Today, the celebration is about Autistic Pride Day. And my message to you has been the message that I've been sharing with a lot of people for this Pride season, so to speak. And it is one word: flourish. I want to remind you that we all belong, we all deserve to thrive, to flourish, to be in spaces, in schools, in classrooms, in organizations where we feel a sense of belonging. And our role as allies and accomplices and activists and friends and caregivers, our role is to make sure we water and nurture the culture and the climate that says to every single person, but specifically today, I want to center those persons that we are celebrating, that we are invited in this space to celebrate. And I want to say it is our role to make sure we support, we nurture, we encourage, we create. It's our responsibility to create that culture and climate that says to every single person, you belong here. Thank you so much for having me. Happy Pride, but happy Autistic Pride Day. Enough love, enough love, enough love. Remember, you deserve to flourish. It is your right to be in spaces where you are loved, you are respected, you are cared for, you are guided, you are watered, you are nurtured, because you deserve to flourish. Enough love, enough love, enough love.
So what brilliant and beautiful messages. Thank you so much to all of the contributors this morning. Diversity with infinite variations and infinite possibilities is the image with which we'll shortly raise the flag. For those able to remain with us and either join in the boardroom or outside, we'll now transition to the flag raising. And those that need to move on to other spaces, we really thank you for joining us this morning. And again, thank you so much for the leadership and contribution of the Awesome Human Club and 9 for leading our way today. So thank you so much.
Delay, the flag is up by the time I get there.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Did you enjoy watching all the kids outside yesterday?
Thank you for participating today. We have now concluded our recognition of Autistic Pride Day. We hope that you continue to reflect on the messages shared this morning, and may they have continued impact on all of us. Thank you so much for joining.